So if you keep walking a lot barefoot, you get better at it. So what you want is, you want an active lifestyle, you want to move, and you want to do so consciously.
Okay, something like 8, half past 8. Okay, today's project, once again, clean the kitchen. At some point have breakfast, and later I'm gonna make a chicken. Yesterday I had a simple meal, and when I could no longer be awake, I fell asleep, cradling myself because I felt like dead. I mean, seriously. I worked myself to the point of no return, which if you keep giving and you keep giving, at some point, right, it will feel a bit like death. Okay, so for me, this is like a yoga mattress, but I can also extend my boundaries a little, right? Just have to see from where to where it's recording. Okay. Plus, in a way, I possibly have to focus on music, but at the moment I just want to record as much content of me also moving, because let's be honest, I'd rather motivate you to move than to teach you to hold on. I mean, this is supposed to be about letting go into creation. Okay, I'm first gonna do this workout. It's like warming up, right? Let's warm up. I'm doing a lot of stuff. It's getting worse. I have to be flexible. I have to be able to move. I mean, this is not child's play. This is serious stuff. I mean, they're taking our children and turn them into products. And they turn them into empty shells for their greedy plays of power. This is what I'm fighting against. You don't get that. And you will never understand why I'm doing these things. So yoga is war inside your mind to a certain degree. As long as you open your eyes and you're awake, you have to figure out a way to stay alive. So if you were born into times of, like Viking running around, but this is different. So you have to adapt. You have to be smart about this. You have to choose to be a man. Nobody will come and force you to be a man, right? That's an active choice that you make. Because you said, I would like to speak my mind and raise my voice. And for that I have to be tough, I have to be strong, I have to be able to hold my ground. Because every ground is spiritual ground. So you have to know how to protect yourself against... It's more about the spiritual stuff. If you can clear things from the spiritual side, then the physical is nothing. Right? You have to be able to balance situations in your mind to prevent accidents from happening. Because if you're a creator God, which you are, I mean, I have heard and seen how parents create worst case scenarios just because they are bored, literally bored, and they just would like something to happen. And unless their child is hurt, right, they cannot do anything, you know, as long as the child is okay. You know, so there are mothers that on purpose hurt their children or let accidents happen and even try to assist accidents in happening because they want to look like a mother and, right, tend to their child. And then other mothers that have done the same thing will say, yes, that's how it's done, right? No. You are not supposed to cuddle your child all the time. I mean, you do that in the first stages of life where you have to keep it safe, but as soon as it can walk on its own, right, as long as you're not hiking for 200 miles or something, why should you hold your child? Right? Why should you? As long as it can walk on its own, it has to be able. So why do mothers always feel like they want to take their child into their arms? Yeah, because a child cannot resist. Because they are weak, the woman is weak, and she's looking for closure because she never learned to love herself. Oh, poor little baby. You know, I mean, we're not talking random women on the street, we're talking like sister-in-law stuff. You know, this is like inside your family. This is like everywhere you look. You know, mothers who bear children and hate men, right? There's people that actually hate children, they just want them to control them. And that's the truth, right? Because they never let go of what happened to them in their early upbringing. Oh yeah, it's so bad, yeah. And you take that as an excuse to torment others, and then you go into politics, right? And you act like you're gonna be nice, but nobody's nice. Everybody who acts nice clearly isn't. So I'd rather have someone like me who openly shows that he can be vicious than somebody who powders himself and wears nice clothes and acts like, you know, I'm the super nice guy. If you say that, you know, if you have a lisp, I mean, I can lisp sometimes if I speak in a way incorrectly, but if you're constantly lisping, well, then there's apparently something wrong. And then, how should I trust you? Yeah, you shouldn't be so judgmental. Yeah, I should be. I have to judge you, right? You have to be active. And that's what this entire world is about. You know, I'm being judged all the time, so I have to make judgments as well. And what I'm seeing is that this is more like a hell. So, right, I don't like this world. I mean, I simply adapted to it but I'd rather lead a different life, a natural life. This is just what I'm doing, because what else am I supposed to do? Right? People are scared by everything that looks at least a little bit natural. They're afraid of spiders. They're afraid of wasps. They're afraid of ticks and mosquitoes. And they're afraid of bees. You know, anyone in this world that can protect itself also, right? They're afraid of that. Well, I learned how to protect myself in a spiritual way. And that's then what we call shamanism. Probably goes into the direction of the word with the voodoo in it. So voodoo is what you do, and that's what I'm doing at the moment. And it took me years of mental training to be able to figure out why I wasn't able to do this. But yeah, it annoys me as well, my own weakness, that it takes me so long to get into these states. But I want my channels to be cleared. And I rather have this as a habit than smoking or blowing rapé, right? I rather have yoga as a habit than blowing rapé. Because that's a safer way back to yourself. I'm just saying. Because you always have you. Yeah? I'm just blowing my nose. Rendering videos. And then just doing this. This is super easy. But it's also hard. Hard shit never comes to you unless you're probably ready. So there were people that would have just let my father die, and I actively worked with him. There's people that would have let him die just to be rid of him, because they couldn't care less. And I simply stood against that. So, I don't know, I feel drawn elsewhere, or I'll stay here. I'll have to let my life decide in a way. If something is strong enough to pull me away from here, if that is, you know, potential experience or whatever else, I'll probably take it. If it helps me to grow, and maybe just for a short visit. I want to give up all the time. But then I always continue. I want to give up all the time. I look at myself, I have moments I like myself, and then I hate myself. So if you cannot keep the darkness at bay, then you're dead. And that's what life is about. So I don't get it, why Gandhi never talked about yoga like this. Maybe he never did it. Or he just kept it to himself. And then he's just a selfish person. Which is why he stopped sleeping with his wife. Because he was just selfish. I'm just saying. Right. I'd never be selfish. Why do I know that? Well, if she were here right now, and she would want time with me, I'd give it. But I'm alone, and so I'm preparing myself for anything. Because I cannot act like I know what's happening. I don't know. Anything could happen at any point in time. I'm trying to get rid of all the voices. I'm just saying. That's my goal. To get rid of all the voices. And I have moments where they're gone. After I've made enough art, after I have broken through with certain tasks I set myself, after certain breath exercises, actions, that's what you need to quiet down voices. Because they're the doubters. They're the ones looking at you from the distance, judging you for your behavior. And sometimes I do things just to have them shut up. You know, we're all beings of mind. I don't know why some people stand out and get a lot of attention while others sit around and look at them. I don't know, man. You don't actually have that in nature. I mean, there's always a chief, right? And everyone orients themselves on the chief. Well, I don't think I could ever be a chief, because I'd be like the guy who channels darkness. A chief has to have different qualities. I'm not really a people person. I can speak in front of people, alright, I get that. But I'm not the type of chief person. I'd be more like a chief like Naruto, mostly on my own doing my stuff. And then occasionally I'd appear. But I cannot be seen all the time. I think, right, it would annoy me. I'm too flexible. A chief needs to be, like, I'm more like flow state guy. I'm not in that sense earth, I'm more like water. So I wouldn't want the scepter. It's not my personality. I can just come and show you that you've got work to do, but then I'll leave, right? Leave you to do the work. I'm not gonna do your work. So it's a lot about the shoulders, to shoulder the responsibility, and also about the neck. I really don't like my own weakness. Yeah, I regret. Sometimes I regret having had to let go of my old life. But what can I do? What can I say? Nothing. Just have to accept it's gone. My old life is gone. I buried it. I got rid of it. And I'm still moving on from it. And it's still trying to pull me. You know, can I be on festivals and be like, say, hey, you know, face your fears. I was thinking about this, could be a possibility. I don't think so. Because there's too much of it. I don't know, for me, it's weird. Because I barely exist as it is. I barely exist. There's a bird of prey. I barely exist. You know, I'm like bird's eye view. I'm not really where you are. And people used to respect that, but now they just try to look down on it instead of seeing it as a beacon of hope, right? Everybody hates hope, just want to destroy it so that they can sell you products with their fear, or they control you with your fear. It's never your fear, it's just fear. So fear can motivate you to do this. So what is fear but? Whatever feeds your engine. It's just energy. It's what you make out of it. So what makes wildebeest chase? The rain falls. What makes wildebeest chase the rainfalls? Well, the fear of death, man. It keeps them running. And at some point, they cannot run anymore. And then the predators get the scraps, right? You know, maybe that's the meal for the old lion. Hello, old friend, I finally got you. But now I've got no teeth left to eat you. What a pity. You know, I've been in the lion's den. Well, what would they have done with me? Well, I wouldn't be here if I waited to figure it out. Okay, I think I'm gonna do the chicken. I don't know, man. I really feel like I need to eat this chicken. I really feel like that. Yeah, that should do it, man. Motivate yourself.